Chapter 6 Dhyana Yoga, Day 92, Verses 1 and 2 The Yogi in Everyday Life. Namaste and welcome to Gita 360. As we begin Chapter 6, the Gita returns to a subject that has appeared throughout his conversation with Arjuna: renunciation. Over the last few chapters, the Gita has already discussed at length about selfless action, detachment, knowledge, and inner peace. Here it begins with renunciation, and the reason for this becomes clearer when we remember Arjuna's situation. Arjuna is still looking for a way out of the battlefield. Part of him continues to believe that spiritual life and worldly life move in opposite directions. If peace is the goal, perhaps action is the obstacle. If renunciation is important, perhaps responsibility is not. Hence, Krishna begins this chapter by addressing that misunderstanding directly. The Supreme Lord said, "Those who perform prescribed duties without depending on the results of their actions are true sannyasis or renouncers and yogis, not those who have merely ceased performing sacrifices such as Agnihotra Yajna or abandoned worldly activities." Krishna says that the true renunciate and the true yogi are not those who abandon action or perform sacred sacrifices. They are those who perform work that needs to be done without waiting for or being attached to the outcome. This is not a new idea. The Gita has discussed this before. But here, this idea is placed at the very beginning of a chapter devoted to yoga. That is significant. Before speaking about meditation, discipline, or mastery of the mind, the Gita wants Arjuna to understand something essential. Yoga does not begin after life settles down. A person does not become a yogi by escaping responsibilities. A person becomes a yogi through the way they meet those responsibilities. In ancient times, a renouncer was someone who left behind family, possessions, and social obligations to live a life of simplicity and solitude. But here, the perspective is turned inside out. We are told that dropping our responsibilities does not make us spiritually advanced. The real renouncer is not the person who runs away to a quiet forest to meditate. It is the person who stands right in the thick of their life, does exactly what needs to be done, but stops relying on success, recognition, or outcomes to feel whole. What they call renunciation, know that to be yoga, O Pandava. For no one can become a yogi without first renouncing worldly desires. Renunciation and yoga are often seen as two different paths. One appears to be about giving things up, while the other appears to be about spiritual practice. The Gita removes that distinction. The Gita says that what people call renunciation is itself yoga. A person does not become a yogi simply by changing their circumstances. A person becomes a yogi when they stop being governed by the endless demands and expectations of their mind. The Gita's focus is not on what we are doing, but on what is happening within us while we do it. A person may fulfill every responsibility of theirs and be consumed by expectations, fears, and imagined outcomes. Yoga begins when these mental demands start to loosen their grip. Many of us assume that commitment and freedom are opposites. We feel that the more responsibilities we take on, the less free we become. The more demands life places upon us, the further we move from peace. We believe that freedom lies in having fewer obligations, fewer expectations, and fewer things pulling us in different directions. We imagine that if we could step away from certain responsibilities, we would feel lighter. We dream about the day when there is finally less to do. Arjuna is wrestling with a similar idea. Standing on the battlefield, renunciation appears attractive because it seems easier than action. Walking away appears more spiritual than remaining on the battleground. The Gita challenges that assumption. It says that freedom is not determined by how much we have to do. It is determined by our relationship with what we do. A person can abandon responsibilities and remain completely bound by desires, fears, and expectations. And neither can remain fully engaged in life and yet possess a remarkable inner freedom. This is why the Gita begins Dhyana Yoga with a discourse on renunciation. Before speaking about meditation, it wants to explain that yoga is not an escape from life. It is a way of meeting life head on. Thought of the day. We often think that doing less will make us more free. Pause for a moment today and reflect. Is there a responsibility in my life that is teaching me something I cannot learn by walking away from it? Thank you for joining me on Gita 360. As we begin this new chapter, may we remember that the path does not start somewhere else. It begins where we stand today, with the responsibilities, challenges, and opportunities already present in our lives.